Hey guys, it's Adora from Funimate, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a 9 photo slide using Funimate effects and a little bit of PicsArt. So first you're going to see me hop into PicsArt with the little crop tool, and we're going to separate this into 9 equal sections. As you see, I'm going to end up only doing 3 and then I finish cropping it later on, but to make your life easier, I recommend just doing all 9 at once. But if you do get confused looking at images in your camera roll when adding them to Funimate, just do the sections at separate times. It'll be a lot more easier for your eyes if you can't discriminate between what to put on the screen. But after you crop your images, you're going to go straight to Funimate, of course, and you're going to add the upper left image. And you want to change the scale to 68 so it fits more proportionally on the screen. 67 works as well too. It'll be a bit more accurate, but it also will be harder to make accurate, if that makes sense. Like, it'll fit more proportionally, but there will be tiny lines in between if you don't put it right. 68 makes it a lot easier to align these photos, so I recommend that. Your choices are your consequences, you decide. But you're going to add 2 position markers, and you're going to change the first part. You're going to make the first position marker off the screen to the left side. The second one, you're not going to have to change anything, but you can add a time or speed effect on it. I chose the one at the bottom of the middle row. That's my favorite one. That's literally the only one I use. I recommend it 1,000,000%. But if you know how to use the other ones, you do you. But after you get that how you want it perfectly, or are satisfied with your work, you want to use duplicate. Now duplicate is going to be our best friend with this transition. We are going to use it like more than 8 times. And then you're going to move the second position point to the right, and you want the left side of that image to align with the right side of the first image. And then you want to replace this image with the middle image of the top row. Now you're going to keep doing the same thing for the third part of this. But we're done with the first row of our transition. We're going to start working on the vertical columns. We're going to start with column 1, then go to 2, and finally 3. Now to start this is a bit confusing, but it's really simple. You're just going to duplicate the top left corner image. And then you know how we had 2 position markers? You're just going to delete the first one and then replace it, and that'll reset the origin point. We want the origin point to be beneath the top left corner image because it's moving downwards and not from off screen to on screen. It's just moving down from under that image. And after we do that, we're going to move the second pointer of the image downwards, and we want this to line up with the top image. And then I didn't do it in PicsArt yet, but if you already made all 9 images, you're just going to replace it with the middle left section, etc., etc. I didn't do this, so you can just skip this on the tutorial if you want, or just sit and watch me speed through it. But after you crop it, you're going to go back to Funimate and replace it. And after you replace this, you're going to duplicate the image again, and then the initial point is going to stay the same as always, except you're going to change the second point to the bottom left part of the screen. You're just going to move it down and align it with its image above. And then once again, you're going to replace the image with the bottom left image. I, of course, did not do this yet, so I have to go back in PicsArt. You can skip it if you want to, or just stay the 10 seconds. But here's a side note. If you really want to, you don't have to use these images. You don't have to use one image. You could always use 9 different images maybe 4 different images. You don't have to do 9 or only use a picture. Like, you can have multiple full pictures. It's up to you. You can add your own creativity to it, make it your own. But after we finish this first row or column, we're going to work on the second one. See, my goal for this is I want you guys to pay attention to the timing. As you can see, nothing is like the rows or columns are moving like with each other at the same time or point in time, but the columns when compared to each other are moving in an order, not at the same time. Column 1 is moving before the second and third column. Column 2 is after the first column and before the last one, and the last one is last. Now this is a vital, like a revolutionary, I'm getting tongue-tied. A revolutionary editing trick that I know. So what you're gonna do is, if you look at the bottom bar, I'm not doing it in it yet, you'll see it at some point in time, but you know the bars that you use to adjust how long an image is on the screen or GIF, whatever you have on there, if you hold it down instead of just moving it, you can actually move the whole transition and nothing will change. All you're doing is moving where it appears on the screen. I end up using this to fix the initial transition of the first column because I really didn't like that I don't like when stuff is late. Like, if you want it to be on time, I recommend using this trick. Just move the bar. Just hold it and drag it. Don't just drag it, because that'll just extend how long it is. You have to hold it for like 2 seconds and then you can move it. You'll see when it's like in that type of mode, it'll just like change a bit on the side. But after you finish the first column, you're gonna work on the second column, and it is exactly the same, except you're moving the initial point to the middle top area instead of the left area. And then you're just gonna keep doing the same thing. And after you do the second row, all you have to do is do the same exact thing for the third row. And as I said before, you want to position these at different points of time. Like, you don't want them to be at the same time, because then it's not going to look like 9 squares. It's gonna look more like 3 lines, and you want it to be 9 squares, if that makes sense, because that's the point. We're trying to make this complicated but also neat, and you want it to appear inspiring. Like, you want to be creative, like not simple all the time. Simplicity is good, it is great, but if you have the ability to do more, you should try to step out of your boundaries. Back to the images though, you want to extend them to wherever you want your image to end, and you want them to all end at the same time, by the way. But after you finish this whole transition, you don't have to be done. I wasn't done, of course, but it's all up to you. I decided to add an overlay, a pinkish orange one, and you can use the blend effect. I think the screen one works best, screen, and it'll make the color fade out, so it's just the coloring. And I put this at the border to add a nice touch, but you don't have to use that. You could always use touch magic, GIFs, whatever. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this tutorial. I hope you understood everything, and I hope it turns out well. Thank you for watching, and see you